Good day, friends. Today, we're going on a journey to understand the challenges faced by our fellow Filipinos experiencing homelessness in other countries. We'll explore the realities and struggles that many Filipinos encounter while living abroad, hear their stories of strength, and start a conversation about how to make things better. If you are new here, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more insightful videos about life abroad and the experiences of Filipinos around the world. Our journey begins in Taiwan, a place that many Filipinos dream of for its promise of opportunity and a brighter future. The city buzzes with life, its streets filled with people chasing their ambitions. But beneath the surface, a different story unfolds for many migrants. Here, the cost of living is staggeringly high, rent prices soar, and finding an affordable place to stay is a challenge in itself. Many Filipinos spend hours searching for apartments, only to discover that even the smallest spaces come with hefty price tags. The dream of comfort quickly fades as reality sets in. Even those with steady jobs find themselves struggling. After paying rent, there's barely enough left for groceries, transportation, and other daily essentials. Saving money or sending support back home to family becomes nearly impossible. Every peso is carefully counted, and sacrifices are made just to make ends meet. The job market is fiercely competitive, and many Filipinos are forced to accept low-paying positions in cleaning, food service, or construction. Despite their skills and qualifications, language barriers and lack of local experience often limit their options. Long hours and physically demanding work become the norm. On top of financial stress, many face emotional challenges. The language barrier makes it hard to connect with locals or even handle simple daily tasks. Feelings of isolation grow as conversations become difficult and friendships are hard to form. Technology helps, but it can't replace the comfort of community. For many, the dream of a better life in Taiwan turns into a daily struggle for survival. Each day is a test of resilience, as they navigate crowded streets, long commutes, and the constant pressure to provide for loved ones back home. The hope for a brighter future remains, but the path is filled with obstacles that make every step forward a challenge. In South Korea, the political climate has become increasingly tense, casting a long shadow over the lives of many Filipinos who have come here in search of better opportunities. For countless families, the sense of anxiety is ever present, woven into the fabric of their daily routines. They walk the streets with a constant awareness that they are outsiders, often feeling unwelcome or even targeted by policies and attitudes that seem to shift overnight. The uncertainty of their future weighs heavily on their minds, making it difficult to plan ahead or feel truly at home. The process of becoming a legal resident is filled with obstacles, endless paperwork, long waits, and ever-changing requirements. For those who lack the right documents, every day is a gamble. They live with the constant fear that a simple mistake or random check could mean being forced to leave everything behind. The threat of deportation is not just a distant possibility, it is a daily reality that shapes every decision, from where to work to how to travel, and even who to trust. In the workplace, many Filipinos endure harsh conditions that others might never imagine. Long hours in factories or on construction sites, meager wages that barely cover basic needs, and living quarters that are cramped and uncomfortable are all too common. Safety is often overlooked and injuries are frequent. With little legal protection, speaking out can mean losing a job or worse, being reported to authorities. The fear of retaliation keeps many silent, forcing them to accept unfair treatment as the price of survival. Access to essential services is another major hurdle. Without proper documentation, even basic healthcare becomes a luxury, and many are turned away from hospitals or clinics when they need help the most. Children watch from behind fences as others go to school, knowing that their own education is out of reach. Social services, which could offer a lifeline, are often denied, leaving families to fend for themselves in times of crisis. The emotional toll is immense. Dreams of a brighter future are overshadowed by fear and uncertainty. Many Filipinos feel their voices are stifled, unable to speak out or advocate for their rights in a system that offers little protection. Protests are often met with silence or force, and hope can feel like a distant memory. Families gather quietly, sharing their worries in hushed tones, always aware that their lives could change in an instant. Behind every statistic is a deeply personal story: a family separated by borders, a parent missing from the dinner table, a child growing up with only a screen to connect them to loved ones far away. Each sacrifice, each moment of longing, is a reminder of the dreams put on hold and the resilience required to endure life in the shadows of uncertainty. In Hong Kong, the simple dream of having a safe and stable place to call home has become out of reach for millions of Filipinos. The cost of even the most basic housing has soared far beyond what most families can afford, turning the idea of a roof over one's head into a distant, almost impossible dream for many. Every month, families are forced to make heartbreaking choices. Do they pay the ever-increasing rent, or do they buy enough food to feed their children? For many, there simply isn't enough money to do both. The stress of balancing these impossible decisions weighs heavily on parents, who often go without so their children can eat, or who skip meals to keep a roof over their heads, even if that roof is just a cramped, shared room. The government's affordable housing programs, meant to be a lifeline, are overwhelmed and underfunded. Waiting lists stretch on for years, with families stuck in limbo, filling out endless paperwork and making repeated visits to crowded offices hoping for a chance at a better life that may never come. For those who can't wait, or who are turned away, the only options left are overcrowded shelters or the unforgiving streets. Entire families, including young children and the elderly, are forced to sleep in unsafe conditions, exposed to the elements and the dangers of the city at night. In these shelters, hope is in short supply. People sit quietly, their faces marked by exhaustion and despair, wondering how long they'll have to endure this uncertainty. The system that was supposed to help them seems broken, offering little more than temporary relief and no real path out of homelessness. The lack of affordable housing isn't just a policy failure, it's a violation of basic human rights. Activists and ordinary citizens alike are raising their voices, demanding that everyone deserves a safe place to live. Meanwhile, countless apartments sit empty and decaying, highlighting the deep inequalities in our society. The anger and frustration in the community are growing. People are tired of empty promises and government inaction. They gather at city halls and community meetings, holding banners that declare, "Housing is a human right," and demanding real solutions, not just words. As we witness our fellow Filipinos struggling just to survive, we must ask ourselves, can we really stand by and do nothing? In a country that prides itself on community and compassion, it's time to remember those who have been left behind and to fight for a future where everyone has a place to call home. In Italy, many Filipinos face discrimination every day when trying to find a place to live or a job. Landlords and employers often turn them away because of their ethnicity, leaving deep emotional scars. This constant rejection creates fear and isolation, making it hard to feel like they belong. Challenging prejudice and building welcoming communities is crucial for real change. In 6 United Arab Emirates, climate change and natural disasters like typhoons have left many Filipinos homeless. Disasters destroy homes and jobs, forcing families into crowded evacuation centers with little privacy or comfort. The emotional pain of losing their homes stays with them, especially for children whose education and safety are disrupted. These crises make existing inequalities worse, pushing the most vulnerable even closer to the edge. Climate change isn't just about the environment, it's about human rights and social justice. In 5 Canada, many Filipinos live without official documents, hidden from society and living in fear. They work in low-paying jobs, vulnerable to unfair treatment, with limited access to healthcare or legal help. Despite these hardships, they keep going for their families, hoping for a chance at dignity and stability. Big changes to immigration laws are needed to recognize their contributions and their humanity. For Qatar seems rich, but many Filipinos here are trapped in cycles of unfair treatment. Tricked by promises of high-paying jobs, they end up in exhausting jobs with stolen wages and poor living conditions. Fear of being sent back home keeps them quiet, and weak labor laws allow the abuse to continue. Their dreams fade as they struggle to survive, their voices unheard. We must fight for stronger labor laws and fair treatment for all workers. In 3 Saudi Arabia, a serious housing crisis leaves many Filipinos living in overcrowded, unhealthy conditions. Families share small, cramped spaces, their well-being worn down by stress and lack of privacy. The lack of services that understand their culture makes them feel even more isolated and makes it hard to find support. Government policies must prioritize affordable housing and community support for everyone. In Kuwait, Political unrest and violence have shattered the idea of home for many Filipinos. Daily life is filled with fear, disrupted services, and the trauma of conflict. Mental health suffers as families struggle to survive in the middle of chaos. Their resilience and hope remain, but peace and stability are desperately needed. We must help them be heard and support efforts for lasting peace. In one United States, Filipinos face invisible barriers, prejudice, skills that are not valued, and discrimination. Qualifications from other countries are often dismissed, forcing many into low-paying jobs even though they are skilled. Discrimination in housing and a lack of cultural understanding make it hard to fit in and feel like they belong. True inclusion means breaking down these barriers and recognizing the value of every person. Let's build bridges of understanding and create a society where everyone can thrive. Friends, our journey has shown us the struggles and resilience of Filipinos facing homelessness abroad, from 10 Taiwan to 1 United States. Behind every statistic is a real person with dreams and hopes. Let's speak up, advocate for change, and build a more just and compassionate world. Thank you. If you are new here, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more insightful videos.